Howdy doody, everybody. How is everybody here today? Hopefully, everybody is well. Um, I'm a little bit sore from yesterday, but I'm here and kicking. Um, I'm going to say a quick hello to everybody. I see CSX Production is in first. G'day, buddy. Nice to see you. Tammy and Ray, how are you? Slater, nice to see you in here. Stormy Sky, how are you too? Hopefully, you guys are fine. Connie, how are you? Nice to see you in here. Mystic, Railroad, Alex, uh, Dodge, I believe you pronounced your last one. I'm one of the new subscribers to the channel. Welcome. Hopefully you enjoy the show. Um, who else do I have in here? Papa John, how are you? Nice to see you. Wigwag, you're not first, buddy. You're falling behind. Okay. Maybe I made it hard for you this time, hey? um, is Dwight in here somewhere? He maybe slept in. Who else do I go? I'm just going quickly down the list. Les, how are you, buddy? Hopefully you're nice and warm up there, warmer than down here. We do have we have a bit of a nip in the air down here at the moment. It's been reasonably cold air blast coming from the south. Thomas, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you. Another Cap Crew Wednesday member, Thomas Grassis. James, Dundas Junction, how are you? Nice to see you in here, buddy. I'm getting close to the bottom of the list in the chat. I'm just having a look. If I missed anybody, Jean Ricard, how are you? Nice to see you up this late at night at your time. Hopefully you're well, have recovered after spending time with Joyce and Anthony. Actually, I haven't seen too much of him in the last 36 hours. I think they're having a rip of a time. Oh yeah, we got clear skies here too. So this is just me at the moment, guys. I we had another 3 teeth taken out yesterday from this side here. Another 3 to go here, so they'll be coming out in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to be talking a little bit more funnier this time, and still a little bit sore. So I'm going to try to see how I go with the show today. I haven't really got much prepared. New Ferris Railroad, how are you, buddy? Welcome to the channel. Ken Amos, how are you? So yeah, I've been at the moment, apart from yesterday, I've been flat out just doing bits on the 2 modules that's sitting up above the that's going up on top of the layout. It's outside. I've got to put the drop feeder wires in it after the show. Possum Boyo, how are you? Welcome. And I still need to drill up the holes for the anchoring bolts to join the two sections together. And hopefully by the weekend, I will be able to put it back in place. The track's been laid back down. I placed magnetic uncouplers. Yeah, it's not. These ones aren't too painful this time. I don't have any clothes left over, but I'll tell you what, this little juice bottle works out really good to numb the pain. Tammy, it works really good. Um, yeah, it acts as a good disinfectant too. So hopefully, I'm going to be able to get that section into place this coming week, and because apparently the weather's supposed to be turning on Sunday, so I want to get that away from the outside and inside, and I can start working on the main section. G'day, John Skookul, how are you? Arty, I went through what you're feeling, going through. It's nothing. It's better. Yeah, I suppose so too. Their C6 production about the teeth. In some ways, they'd be better off out than leaving them in. But to the way I wanted to get them done, because I'm getting on our system down in here, I got no choice in how it's getting done. Um, they do it on a cheap method on the public system, and to be honest, it sucks. I went to the dentist yesterday on the assumption that we're going to be taking 6 out yesterday, but the doctor says, "Oh, just go out there and make a booking and come back, and we'll take 3 out and another 3 out later." And I'm like, "No, we were on the assumption it's coming out today. Oh, we can only do 3 today." And go, "Well, we'll take 3 out." So I just want to get them done with. I want to get these other ones out as well. I need to get them out. Takes about 6 7 weeks before the gums get healed up enough, so I can actually get dentures in place, and I want to get that before my next surgery. And g'day, Dave. How are you, buddy? Maybe what's that? Maybe one day I can go to the outback with you. Look, you can go out the outback. We'll go out there. You can wrestle the crocs, and I'll just stand on the side and I'll videotape it and let everybody see which one will be who will be the winner out of that one. I'm not going to go in the wrestle the crocs. I'm not even going to go wrestling the kangaroos. They've really got a good kick in them too. Just got back from Kansas. Go to combat with a wombat. Now that would be that would be more something Dave's got to do. He's got to go and deal with a wombat before he can deal with a crocodile. If he can beat a wombat, he'll beat a crocodile. Yeah. Okay, well, you just take it easy there, Sladen. I mean, don't burn yourself out there, buddy. Yeah, the drop bears will get you. Yeah. Those drop bears. Yeah. But they only come out, but Liz, you know the deal. They only come out when the tourists wander off into the bush all on their own. But of course, when they with the local natives are growing up in here, they won't get to the tourists often. Making an outback in the steakhouse. Look, that Outback Steakhouse, that's a fake. It's a phony. Keep telling you that. We don't have that crap food here. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to do much rail fanning. As I said, I've been working pretty much flat out outside, making the most of the nice weather. I'm going to put an invite up. Have people come in because I'm going to try to. As I said, I want to get the most of the good weather outside. I still got to do the other half. The half that I'm working on at the moment is the half that I'm working on at the moment is the far end. That's just about done. And the next section I've got to work on is the one that's going to be above the road, the roundhouse, which is next to me. So if I get all that into place, if I can get all that done outside, I can bring them in to play. G'day, Thomas. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. How are you?
Good. The Blue Healer Pub Party. Where's that? I want to know what that is now. You got me intrigued.
Where am I at? You mean?
No. I was talking to. I was just asking Les. I was talking about the Blue Healer Pub.
No.
I'd really like to know where that is. Might have to go and do a trip up to it. Yeah, doing Sladen. Welcome.
G'day, Arty. How you doing, mate?
Good, good, good. Oh, what are you trying to do? Start sound like an Aussie. Central Queensland.
Yeah, I'm trying to sound like one, but I'm a bit tired and my voice is a little bit different.
Oh, the only way you're going to sound like an Aussie is when you start coming out here and hanging out with us for about 5 years. You might start talking like one.
Yeah, you never know. So yeah, how's
Well,
everyone doing tonight?
yeah, not too bad. I mean, still jaw's a little bit tender, but not as bad as the front teeth being pulled out. So
Ugh.
yeah, um, yeah, and yeah, I haven't done any rail fanning. I do have a busy schedule next week. I do know I have to go up to Sydney. Sorry, my left sinus is playing up because one of the teeth that I had there was really close to the sinus. Anyway, next week I'm going up to Sydney, so I'm going to be taking some train shots shots of trains up the western side of Sydney tomorrow. Next week, next Tuesday. I won't be getting Indian Pacific. I still want to get the shot of the Indian Pacific of how they shuffle around the engines after it's pulled in. I have not got that shot. I believe that someone has got it, but I want to do the switching as they do doing it at the present moment. Because that's a top operation I want to do on my layout. Because predominantly, yeah, I'm going to have freight trains, but because it's going to be small, I'm not going to have that much room for industries, but I've got a lot of passenger trains. So to do a little bit different, because there's so many of us, there's nothing wrong with freight trains, but so many got freight trains. I want to do the passenger train side of things. I grew up with the passenger trains going into Central and having the engines, having the passenger car switched around, having the switches, pulling the carriages out so the engines can come out and push them all back again. So it'll be an interesting bit of operations. Dave, G-Scale, man, you're really going to have to really earn a lot of money to get G-Scale, I think, the way the prices are going on some of it. But the only way I'm going to do that is if I move away from here, because if I put G-Scale up around here, it won't last. Okay, Ken, thank you very much for coming up. My marble top in the kitchen island finally showed up 3 hours late in mate, at least it showed up. I mean, what's the old saying? Better late than never.
Better late than never.
Yeah. The outback version is three hours isn't late. That's still on time. It's when you don't show up for about a week. That's when you're late. But then they come out. Yeah.
That's when you screwed up big time.
Yeah, I remember there was one time I actually got stuck, and this is before mobile phone receptions, and I was meant to be at this we call them station, but you guys call them ranches, but they're stations, they're huge. And I had that produce on board, and I got stuck. It was just in the middle of the wet season. And because I never showed up, they came out with the big tractors. I mean, I'm talking about big tractors. I mean, they're like with 4 tires on them, and they had chains and whatnot. They came out, they knew what was wrong. I was stuck in the mud. Hooked me up and dragged me up to the compound area where the ranch was, or like where the houses are, and we just stayed there for about 3 days. But they come looking for you if you haven't showed up in a couple of days. Even to this day, if you don't turn up on the day, they come out looking for you the next day. Oh yeah, that'd be good. I can't have at the front. I can't really have anything outside. Being the area, the top area where I'm at, you'll get a lot of the young ones that come in here. If they don't pinch it, steal it, they would destroy it. And as we all know, like even G scale, any scale in particular, it does cost a lot of money, but nothing worse than coming little buggers coming in and destroying it. Yeah. So what have you been doing, Thomas? I see your printers having a day off.
Yeah, they have a day off. Well, I finished printing some stuff, and now I'm building, putting them together and painting them and stuff like that. And I've been working on a lot of electronic stuff on my yard. And today, when I went to work, I took a bag of wire I had cut up the other day in small pieces, and I skinned them all at each end and stuff like that while I was sitting there doing nothing at work. And, so I got them all cut up now. Now I can start soldering them onto the NCE lights and
Yeah.
and then now I can build all my dwarf signals that I 3D printed because I have I had to order some more thin wire and put that in in the tube that the signals sit on, and so I got to solder them onto the LEDs and then feed them through and solder a resistor on the other side and then put them all together. So that's
hey, Arty. Hey, Thomas and Slayton.
Yeah.
So. Well, what I know, I still got to solder some wires onto the plugs that I've got, but I think I showed you guys the other plugs that I've got. I'm going to use that as a quick setup to join my wires up. Because as you know, I'm doing mine in sections, so I can, because I know I'm going to be moving out of here, I want to be just able to unplug, take the layout to where I want it, to where I'm moving to, and then put it back into place. But it's done in such a way that the modules that I'm doing now, if I want to expand to it, it's going to be easy by just matching up the track to fit what I've got.
Yeah.
So I'm almost done. I'm almost done with it. Just got to do a bit more fine tuning with what I'm doing, and I've got to put the anchor bolts underneath. And as I said, I'll have that in hopefully by Sunday, before my Sunday show. I'll have that in. Sunday, as in my Sunday or Saturday night. Every once in a while, I tend to pass 12 volts through me. Good for the ticker. I'll tell you what. Without I mean, I've been actually talking about electricity over in the United States. I notice you'll get more of a jolt because of the ampage. More of a jolt from your power than what we do over here. A lot more of a jolt when we're working on, say, 12 volts. But a lot of that did depend on the ampage. For my ability, but the scenery. Well, my scenery is going to be joined to. I learned it with my, how to do that with one of my bedroom layouts, where I was actually able to petition and split the scenery was split apart, and it was very hard to tell where the joints was. But yeah, my scenery, I'm not worried about scenery at this point. All I want to do is get the tracks laid. Once I get the tracks laid, I want to get it all laid before I go for my next operation. Then I can actually tune the running and see if there's anything else I want to add on down the track before I seal everything up with the scenery. Because once you seal everything up, you really don't want to be going in and cutting it all up and adding all these new bits and pieces to it.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to do it when you have the scenery down already.
Yeah.
Well, it's not hard, but sometimes it gets complicated, sometimes it don't. But sometimes you just have to move things around, and then they don't come out right or something, and then you got to redo everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I was watching second podcast, I think it's called, last night, and this guy, his first name was Marty. I can't remember his last name, and they were doing a tour of his layout, and he had some really nice looking scenery on his layout, and he showed how he did some of it. It was quite impressive.
Yeah, I listened in on the way back from Springfield. I wasn't able to chat, but I did listen into the second section podcast. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice layout.
Yes, Dave, I am going to eventually paint the rails. When I work everything out, I'm going to start painting the rails as well. I've got another box of flex track, but I'm also still waiting for my set tracks to arrive from Newcastle. Hopefully they'll be here tomorrow. But I'll put them in a box and getting ready for the next section. So the reason I'm doing, I've got a whole heap of Atlas curve tracks, and the reason why I'm doing that, and Thomas will understand with this, is because I'm doing with my block systems. With a set track, it's a lot easier to create your blocks, particularly where the joins are. And with my automation program, you're just going to make it easier, and it's going to make it tidier, but pretty much. G'day, Dave BNSF. So what? You don't mind? Yeah, you hang around with us for 3 hours and sometimes 24 hours. I haven't done a 24-hour one for a while. Yeah, Atlas is a good system. The point system that I use Pico because they got all the additional your straight sections and whatnot in your geometry. When you're making double crossovers and whatnot, the geometry of the tracks that you use, they all match up. And you don't have to cut too many tracks into place to put them into place. So that's why I stick to the Pico track, because I get a whole bunch of little shorts and different various lengths. And if you do it right, everything will fall into place. Yeah, and I found it. Yeah, that's why I like using that. Plus, it's ready available. I know Wharfie's got some really nice tracks, but I can't go to a hobby shop here, and well, not everybody stocks it.
Right.
The Wharfie track. I've got to go to a couple of particular ones in Sydney, and they do charge a lot for it. With the Pico track, it's like going to any 7-Eleven store or gas station and picking up a Baby Ruth candy bar, really, or packing M&Ms. They all got it.
Hey, Arty.
Yes, mate.
Question for you.
Don't know.
What got you interested in trains to where you are today?
Oh, it's because it attracts all the good looking ladies. No, just joking. I've been interested in trains since I was a knee high to a grasshopper, since I was a kid. My stepdad, he did a lot of work on the railways, particularly more so in the steelworks here. And he used to take me around to a lot of places down here in the industrial area at Steelworks and a lot of the other areas that's gone now, like Southern Copper and that. and we used to have the little switches, the little 73 class switches. And there's one particular spot I have made videos where there used to be a railway crossing. He'd sit there just so we can watch the trains go past. And bought my first train set. I believe I would have been about 4 or 5 when he bought my first train set. And by the time I was 6, I got another one. And by the time I was 7 or 8, I already had 3 train sets. We played track. I don't remember. Atlas is not quite as high as Pico. Yeah, I'll work that one out, Les. Yeah, I did work that out, but that's where the Dremel comes in handy. That's what got me into it. And of course, I had the little model trains, and I was hooked on it. I was hooked on the trains from a young age. And I started, one of my old school friends, he was in the trains too, or 2 of them in particular. And we used to go to each other's place, especially during the school holidays, the summer holiday breaks. Or even when the terms finished, we used to go to each other's and play the trains. And as we got older, I just kept on collecting more and more. Okay, now he's got a family and 2, 3 daughters and under the thumb, and he's married. But I'm still collecting. I've been collecting basically, you say, from the age of 10, 12. I've been collecting my trains. So what I have now, I didn't buy overnight. It's a collection of over the years. A lot of areas where I used to go train spotting and the crossings and the factories and that, they are no longer there. They're all gone. They gave way to basically road transport. Well, yeah, Dave, yeah, Pico too. So you got Atlas. I probably could have gone with Atlas, but with the trackage designs that I had in the past, like you got your 3 ways with them, you got your double slips, your single slips, your curved. You've got so many different options with Pico, and with their geometry of tracks and curves and whatnot. If you take your time and don't rush it, you can actually have everything put together. It comes in a lot harder to do that when you're mixing, say, Atlas with Pico and Pico with Atlas and Walthers and whatnot. Because of the sizes and everything else, the geometry tends to be all over the place. G'day, race fan. How are you? Sladen's gone again. But yeah, that's what got me into it, Sladen.
Thanks for answering that question, because for me, it's a little bit different. For me, it's kind of same with you, seeing the trains when I was little, but my uncle is a national model railroader. So I've been collecting model trains since the age of 5. So I've been collecting them for about 12 years now.
Well,
started on a 4x8 and up the building.
Before my brother was born, when I was 13, I got my first push bike when I was 13, 12. So I'm about that age. And now my stepdad, what he did, Les will know this. There used to be a brand hoist crane inside Steelworks. Well, actually, that time there was 2. It was crane 21 and crane 30. And they were known as almost like the Fly Gang. As soon as one of the ladles came off the track, those hot ladles that carry the molten steel around, they had to go out and re-rail it and put it on the track within the hour of it derailing. None of this dragging your chain for 2-3 days to get on the rail. They had to get out there, get on the track, because they cannot afford to have that steel molten steel solidifying those. They call them torpedoes here, or ladles. Coal train derailments, they used to go around, and you sort of could have gone into steelworks when you were younger, but you were chased off. But there were a lot of other areas when towards Mount Kembla. You'll see in the earlier videos when I first started YouTubing, when I went, he'd go up there with him and his crew would go up and do derailments up there and cleaning up. And I get on my push bike. And a friend of mine, Graham, we used to actually follow it all the way up. And we spent hours there watching them put the trains back on the tracks. And I remember when we had the big one road. Yeah, it was. But when we had the big coal train accident down on the bottom of the hill at our place on Central Road, they had both of the brand horse cranes working there. Had that crane 30 and crane 21. And I never seen guys, grown up guys, jump and scatter quicker than flies and ants. Because what apparently happened was, what was happening, crane, I don't know, there was something about crane 21. It was always in trouble, but as he was swinging around with the jib up in the air, above him was very high voltage power lines that actually generated the power. Hang on. As he was swinging around, he was about to hit the high voltage power lines that were going to feed the mine. And all you had a couple of guys screaming the power lines. Of course, the crane operator didn't hear it. Everybody was just jumping off cars. These coal cars, they were actually just falling over, and yeah, Les will probably be there too. Yeah, they ran, they scattered, they were like, "No, God, see ya," and we were like, "It hit it." Sparks were flying everywhere. But there was another time, I think, there was another time I actually got to see it, the aftermath of it, with number 2 blast furnace, where now a lot of you guys that have got your steelwork kits from Walthers. You know how you got the little charge car that actually takes all your raw materials and takes it up to the top of the blast furnace. Now they were actually refitting one of them into number 2 blast furnace, and the operator didn't put the outriggers out on crane 21. So what actually happened was crane 21 fell over. The only thing that stopped it from falling down in the pit was crane 30. Yeah, it did, Les. It did. Dad was telling me about it. I mean, I don't know how many times that thing went over, and it's some of the things I did with it, it was funny.
Really?
And when Dad left, because he was so specialised and he was so, I'm not scolding because of his stepdad, but it was good on getting the trains, particular ladles. It was good on getting it on the track quickly. So they wanted him to stay. And by this time, he's left the steelworks. We were carting the slag sand out of. I had a contract carting slag sand from number 2 blast furnace to the dumps to the stockpile. You do realise, sorry, I'm just looking at the conversation. But one of the ladles derailed right next to the road. And as I said, they didn't want Dad to leave. They threw everything to him. So here he is, Dad's putting on the hat, trying to disguise himself, and he's like trying to pop down so I didn't spot him. And one of the guys spotted him that was sitting up a bit high, spotted Dad, and they said, "Look, we'll give you whatever it takes." They stopped us. We'll give you whatever it takes to get this train back on the road, because he was telling me they're doing it wrong. They're doing it wrong. And it got to about 50 minutes, and
Oh, hey, Daryl.
Hey,
they
Daryl.
gave me $5,000. Oh, that looks good.
Oh, that's a cool loco.
Yeah, I got one.
Oh,
of these.
hey guys. Hey, I
Yeah.
thought before I would enter a model railroad streaming, I thought I would brush up on my model railroading since I'm thinking about starting one.
Looked like you were reading a giant newspaper of model trains.
Hey, that's what the old model railroad news used to look like. Yeah, it used to be a great big newspaper like format back in the day. I still
Yeah.
got some of those old issues.
Oh, wow.
Daryl, that looks like a very dirty book you're reading there, mate.
It's a pretty big it's a pretty big book.
You just bought it for the pictures, didn't you? You didn't.
But
didn't
you know
like
what
it.
you know what it says though. If you read it correctly, it says advanced. So I don't know how that's going to work out for me because
The layout
well,
looks just fine.
sorry, mate. This is not the advanced class. Sorry, bud. See ya.
Daryl, anything beyond what I've got's advanced. So
But yeah, Les could vouch. I mean, I actually drove. I mean, this is where Les and I connect. I vaguely remember him, but Les, I actually learned how to drive a truck that was built by Les, and talk about bits and pieces. They had bits and pieces of everything on it. Its top speed was.
Sounds like a Frankenstein.
It was. It was actually. He just tried to get Arty to laugh. You get me to laugh. It had diffs on the Mac. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me wherever I'm wrong. I'm just going by what Jimmy and Dave used to tell me. It had 48 miles an hour. That's right. And that's even going downhill. The weight was geared. It could pull big weights. It had a bulldozer motor and a Cat bulldozer engine in it. Now, I believe it had a 13-speed gearbox in it. It had an international cab in it, the TranStar cab, a cab over cab on it.
Oh.
Right.
Jackpot.
And they were common, but they weren't that common here. It was made of bits and pieces. And we were doing dumping or whatnot, 466 front end loader. There you go. It had a 466 front end loader engine in it.
John must be a Mystic must be talking about my red floaty.
Yeah, 250 horsepower. It wasn't flash. But for me, that was, I mean, I like the international they had in there, which was twin seat. I like that one. But when we were doing dumping and bits and pieces of 21 dump in the steelworks, the days where you didn't need a license to drive around in there, that's what I learned. Rubber ducky Daryl.
Well, I think I got advanced on the chapter on red flotations. I think I mastered that one. Sladen, put your eyes back in your head.
Hang on.
Oh,
Daryl, I don't. There's a snowplow sitting on your lake.
No, that's Jaws.
That's Jaws.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's Jaws.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Jaws. Shark Wake.
Um, shit, I
Hey,
don't know what.
I was just
I
gonna
know.
say, BLI is doing the shark nose in that scheme, don't you?
Who is?
Broadway Limited.
Or are they really?
Yeah, they got two different schemes. It was in the New Malrero News. I got it was one of their announcements in the upcoming products section.
Interesting. Now, is that like a fantasy scheme or?
Yeah, they're fantasy schemes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
Oh, what you got there, John?
Peanut one.
Peanut one.
Oh, wow.
If you look real close, Jimmy Carter's in the window.
Oh,
Yep,
I'll be
I see
darned.
it.
Wow.
That
Check
looks
that
like
out.
that looks
That's
like
cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
I'd never seen this. I seen it at a train show, and I said I got to own that
Absolutely. I would have done the same damn thing.
because I never seen nothing like that.
I
I've
know.
never seen anything like that.
I know. I think TECO is doing another train show out here. I might go to it, but only issue. I got ripped off an engine last time I went.
Man, we all
Yeah.
get ripped off. We all get ripped off when we buy train stuff. It's the way the game. It's the way the game goes. I mean, we all pay more than what we want to.
I mean, it had a price tag of $79, but found out when I got home to run it on the layout, it had no motor in it. I was like,
Oh, no, that's extra. Motors are extra. That's a new thing that's coming out.
See, when you keep going to train shows, eventually you get ripped off.
Yeah.
that was my first train show.
Yeah.
Oh, you just
look at this correction there. I mean, we know where to go to get parts.
check out my new video today. I put all my cabooses on my new shelf. All the ones I wanted to be out in the garage. I'm not putting the lighted cabooses outside.
Right.
But I found this shelf. I was leaving home and I looked. Hey, look at that shelf! It's sitting on the street corner. And then so I went home, got my pickup truck, and I had to pick that thing up. That shelf was about as heavy as I was. I put it on the pickup, and I got it in my garage now. And it's got 5 shelves. I got about 100 cabooses on one shelf. It was worth it. Price is right.
That's a fair point there, Corey.
Sladen, is that you?
What, me talking? Yeah.
Yeah, is that you?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Yeah, that's why I said fair point, because it seems like a lot when you get it. It hurts when you get ripped off, because it was either get the Dash 9, which is in the Santa Fe War Bonnet scheme, or get a Heritage 2 scheme Mac, an SD75, or a couple of other engines that I can't think of right offhand. So I was like, you know what? I'm running a few modern engines, so I'm going to get it. Had about as many coal cars as a Colorado coal train on it. Swear to God. But honestly,
I
you know what? I just found, you know what? Since it doesn't run, I can just pull it along gently with some rail cars, put some switches on, and then just act like I'm switching on an actual model railroad layout.
Run it like a dummy.
It is a dummy engine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's something good.
Touch wood, I've been lucky. I think in the last 9-10 years, I think I've only had three bad bites. in this period, in a period of 10 years. So I haven't had too bad of a run. But I have had a chance. I have had one experience where there was a young guy was Corpus Christi in Texas, where I bought a pair of proto PA units, brand new. But I think I haven't mentioned this before in one of my shows, but I was waiting, it never came out, and he never sent it. He gave me all these false tracking numbers. But after doing a bit of digging around and whatnot, we found out it was
Split rock. Shark bait. Hey,
Yeah.
I have a question. I'm holding up my hand. How do you get
Yeah.
ripped off at a train show? I'm just curious because I've been to a lot of train shows. I've never gotten ripped off. So what you set your
Who
bag
you
down
asking?
and you set your bag down and somebody takes it. I don't know. Please explain. How do you get ripped off at a train show?
You're asking me that, Daryl?
I'm asking anybody.
Well, I bought trains
So
where they said they run and they don't run. But
that's
then you
kind of
got
what the issue was with me. Yep. This guy had like 5 or 6 of like the big white tables that you can get at the store for like
Okay.
events, full of nothing but rail cars and engines. So I picked up a San
What is that noise?
Diego.
Is
Not
that
coming from
aliens
me.
invading us?
It's not coming from me.
it's not coming from
Okay,
me. I'm
Mr.
drinking coffee. That'll be
Okay,
out. That'll be
Mr.
out my
Carroll,
job.
you see a great loco at a cheap price and get it home, and it's a dummy engine, etc. Oh, okay.
That
Okay,
that sounds
dummy on me. Oh, okay, well, yeah. Oh, okay, well, just one more thing. The last train show I was at, Lynn McCurdy was there. I had interest on an engine, but the guy told me, he says, I have no way of testing it. So he brings out the box and he goes, he turns the box upside down. He goes, okay, it's got a check mark on it. So you're good. And I looked at the guy and I laughed. I'm like, are you serious? He goes, yeah, I checked it myself. See, it's got a check. So I said, well, I'll tell you what. Can I take it just across? I'm right there. I'm interested in 2 of the locomotives. Can I take it over there and run it on that? Well, they won't let you do it. Okay, if they'll let me do it and I can see them run, would you be okay with that? He goes, okay. So Lynn McCurdy took the locomotives over and they ran and I bought them. So what I think I'm just reacting is buyers beware, of course. I'm not going to spend 250, 280 bucks on something that doesn't run.
Yeah,
Because
well, see, I haven't been to a model train show in United States, but just go by
well, you
looking at
didn't even show up tonight to help me fix my hydraulics on my truck. And then I remembered,
Well,
oh,
you
wait a
didn't
minute.
bloody call me, did you?
Yeah, I did. I left you a text.
No,
and
you
said you'd
didn't.
be over.
No, I
And
had
then I
some men
remembered.
bring me up.
No, I remembered you had to do cab crew tonight. So you left me all there by myself. That's okay. I got the hydraulics fixed on my shred truck. I'm ready to go first thing in the morning.
But you never called me. Yeah, the only call I had last night was from Samantha. Then she came over and gave me a backla rub and helped me go to sleep because I was
Because
in
I know how you country boys like to play with hay balers.
Hey,
uh,
I'm
but
not.
still,
I'm the one that
going
will
back
drive
on
a
subject, since I got derailed, with our model train shows here, they're not as big as what they are in the United States. I mean, we do have big ones, but most of the second-hand stores or the brand new
Oh,
people that are. I just said back rub, Tammy. I didn't say anything else. I'm keeping
Hey,
it.
Arty, why are you talking funny?
Who, me?
Why are you talking funny?
I just had 3 teeth taken out yesterday.
Oh, you had 3 teeth taken out. Sorry, mate. You
Yeah.
should have called one of us and said, "Hey, Okay, got it. One of
I'm
us
not,
would have
I'm
taken
not in
it.
so much pain.
Artie's from Australia. He always talks funny.
No, we
No,
speak
no, no.
normal.
I can understand that.
It's bloody.
I can understand Australian language because it's just basically a different dialect of English.
Exactly. Thank
Yeah.
you, Sladen.
I
You're welcome
totally.
to come over. You're welcome to use a bed here. These other bastards are sleeping on the floor.
Work for me.
All right, I guess that's me.
Yeah. But if you buy a train from one of these stands at a train show here in Australia, you can ask a layout or whatnot if they haven't got a test track. Could you test run this for us, please? A lot of times they would do that. So you know what you're buying there, and a lot of them don't. What's his name?
Well, I can tell you this is the reason why I do not order food from Uber Eats or anything like that, because I've seen too many videos where they're putting cameras and these people are wiping their fingers and they're eating your food and they're putting their fingers where they don't belong. Oh yeah, no.
Oh,
No.
Jesus.
I won't get anything from Uber.
Oh no,
Eats.
oh no. And then when you see the way they carry on around in here,
Yeah.
with Uber Eats and these, particularly with these motorboxes,
I don't even do the pizza thing no more. I do not have pizza delivered to my house after seeing videos like that. Oh heck no. No.
It's always cheaper to cook food and eat at home.
Yeah.
if you can do that, but I don't want to do the other.
Hey, Artie, I just found 3 more engines.
Well, you got
Just-
more.
3 more engines?
Yeah, I just found that box. I'm
I was gonna
trying
say
to,
I did get some other stuff besides the train stuff I had on my stream just before Artie come on, but I got some of these clips that go on these old Athearn blue box cars, and yeah, see,
Oh, cool. I
yeah,
actually got a Athearn Blue Box Southern Pacific loco.
yeah, I've got 2 cars for sure that's not boxed up that's going to have these, and then I also got these guys too.
Oh yeah, I've got to get
So
it lolly too.
Yeah, those are. I'll hold that up where you guys can see that.
Yeah.
They look like Katie couplings.
They are.
They are.
These are the. Well, here I'll flip it around where you can see it better, but where you can see what kind they are. Those are the SF double shelf couplers.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's actually 2 types of these. There's this version, the SF version, and then an SE version. You can tell the difference in by the heads. The heads are different shaped.
Yeah.
On them, but they function the same way. So, and these function like a real shelf coupler does. So these things are great. So
What's funny about that is
Tammy, if I would have had Lola with no, I'm not gonna. No, I'll be shut up. I know wait.
and
25 pairs, 50 inch.
another thing that's really cool about these couplers is you can actually modify them to make different styles of couplers. You can cut the top shelf off and make a bottom shelf. SF coupler is Scooby comes to say hi to me.
Oh, hi,
So-
Popo.
hey,
Yeah,
Ram,
that's
what'd you have
Cheyenne's
in
dog
that-
Scooby. So,
what'd
What
you
up,
have in
Scooby?
that Athearn box? What was in the Athearn box? I didn't
okay,
see-
the afterbuck. Well, I guess I can run and get it right quick for those that didn't see it. Hang on just a second.
Hang on. What time of the day is it over there? It's still daylight.
It's
Hey, look, I bought some pumpkin.
it's
Yeah.
after 8 o'clock, I think, Artie.
They
I got
haven't,
daylight.
figured,
Oh,
they haven't figured out how to tax the sun yet.
all
I
right.
got 650. I got 653 on my 654 on my phone right now. PM Colorado time. So Daryl, it's almost.
Almost 9 o'clock here, and it's still light.
No,
Hey,
no,
how you doing, man?
Split Rock, we do, Yeah, that's a good thing. But we do have the Epping Model Training Show. They do have a second-hand store. Now, a lot of times there with a lot of the stuff they are pre-tested before they put on the sale, and they have runner or needs work or whatever on the stuff, but a lot of times even with that is a bit of a hit and miss because you don't know what you're buying. Because I have bought a whole heap of GP30s that had cracked gears in them. But hey, I got them for a bargain price. But yeah,
What John was asking about what I got in the Atherton box. For those that didn't see it in the stream, right there's the 3-pack of containers. And the reason why I ended up getting these, Atherton was having a 40% off sale on a bunch of their stuff, and this was one of the items they had. So I picked up a 3-pack of these. Got this really cool cold gun decorated for Herzog.
Yeah,
and
that's Herzog.
Yeah,
I think it's like a ballast. Looks like ballast, but
yeah, they haul ballast now, but these used to have these were former coal cars, but
so that's basically what Herzog ballast cars are. Ex coal cars.
Yeah, pretty much. They use some other types too, but yeah, you'll see these a lot. I haven't seen any in this scheme. The ones I've seen were all decorated all red with the Herzog and the big billboard letters on the side. And so I thought it was a cool car anyway. So
I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed at the moment. There's so much nice stuff coming out. I would like to get a hold of.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Otherwise, I'm
and
going
then
to get.
there's the last one right there. That's a
Oh, those are cool.
that's a well, here I'll just show you right there.
Hazmat.
That's cool, Randall. I like those.
Yeah, these were all 40% off at Atherton. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I got these, now I think the sales ended already, but I got them on the very last day of the sale. So
nice.
But yeah, I would take them out and show you guys, but with Cheyenne's dog running around out here, I don't want to risk it because he kind of gave us some problems during the stream, thinking they was food. So.
Well, here, Randall, since you're showing off something, I'm going to show off some. Hey,
yeah, go ahead.
I got palm trees.
Nice.
Check it out.
You live in California,
cool.
So
all right, that's all I wanted to show. I just got some palm trees.
Hey, Daryl, you gonna make them like the W, like that movie?
Actually, I've got palm trees that are kind of not made as W's, but yeah,
That
I
movie,
got a couple
It's a
things
Mad,
that are
Mad World.
made like
that's
W.
so good. Daryl, those palm trees are so suited for you since you live in California.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got them all over my layout.
Have they got nuts on those ones there, Daryl?
Yeah, okay.
Those palm trees, they got nuts on them?
And I was just going to say too, since
I don't think so. No, these have no nuts. You know, it's like Almond's Joys. Sometimes you feel, sometimes you don't.
And I was just going to say too, we was talking about these Herzog cars. BNSF here operates some of their work trains have old Santa Fe and
that reminds me,
Burlington Northern cars, and they even have a few that's even pre-Burlington Northern. There's one that was part of the North Local that was a Northern Pacific car that was used to haul track sections. So
in La Junta, going to and coming back from Kansas, we got an old Santa Fe. It's like one of the old small and short hoppers. We got two of those plus a Rio Grande hopper running around on a local right now, and apparently now we got a Cascade Green SD40-2 running local service and ex ATSF B40-8W running around up here.
You know, I wish I got a video of this when I saw it, but there was a northbound that had a Santa Fe war. Well, it wasn't a Santa Fe war bonnet; it was the BNSF war bonnet leading, and trailing right behind it was a former Santa Fe SD 45-2 that was repainted and being in the BNSF colors. No,
What was the road
they're
number?
they're not SD 45-2s anymore. I think they call them SD 40-2Rs now because they rebuilt them several years ago and yanked out the 20-cylinder engine, put a 16-cylinder engine in them. But it's still the same body, same frame, and everything.
G'day, Steve. How are you, bud?
My bad, I dropped my phone.
Sorry,
Okay.
Tammy. Yeah, see, you got two different types of palm trees. You got, well, actually three. You got ones with small nuts and ones with the big nuts. And then you got some that don't have nuts at all. So that must be the female tree. But we actually have palm tree, actually, all jokes aside now.
Arty, use the proper pronoun, a he, she, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, well, okay, all right, okay. Point taken, John. But I know we second door up, they got a palm tree.
Oh no, I've just been out there going.
Enough. I have to go to sleep tonight. It's all right. That's more nuts. We actually have one of my neighbours got a type of palm tree here, and they actually got you could say little berry nuts under as at that fruit. And the rainbow lorikeets actually like them, and they fight and attack and whatnot, and they'll just take all the little berries and nuts off them. Now, coconut palms, I have not seen any down around here yet. So yeah, soon as we start getting those nuts, fruit nuts on the palm tree next door, and the rainbow lorikeets come around, I'll get a shot for you, Tammy, and you'll have a laugh when you see the rainbow lorikeets fighting over fruit nuts.
Hey, Daryl.
Yo.
You gonna get any videos of the layout? Because it's looking. I like how you're like set up at the crossing right there, watching the train go by.
You know what it is, Sladen? I'm just so lazy. And really that's what it amounts to. I'm just lazy. And it's just easier for me when I'm on the road to point, shoot. I can do everything right there in my phone, send it out a Railfan video, and I'm done. With this, it takes a little bit more finesse to do it. And you're right, I do. Everybody says, Daryl, you need to produce some videos on your layout. I've just been lazy. I'm actually, okay, here's the truth. I'm actually in a slump right now. I'm just really not into the model trains right now. I'm really not. I'm not into my own layout right now. And I'm sure some of you people out there can say, every once in a while we get in those slumps where you just kind of ignore it, and that's where I'm at right now. And I'm just trying to figure out how to get back. I'm just trying to figure out how to get back into it.
I can tell you how to get back into it, Daryl.
Split Rock.
Sorry, I had to step out for a minute.
You know what, Split Rock? I don't know, but they're coming up. Let me change cameras because they're coming up.
Daryl.
Yeah.
I know how to get you motivated. There's a Delta is leaving about 10:30 tonight on LAX. Jump on it, and I'll pick you up here on Saturday morning. I'll get you motivated.
Yeah, and you know what? That is true. And you are right. I've been hearing that too as well. And it's just like I said, I just been lazy, basically. Those are Split Rock. Those are.
I thought it was that you were busy working there.
MSDR. I don't know. I have the box, but it's over there. But it ain't cool.
Yeah, that one night, Daryl, you gave us a tour, and then ever since then, you've been in a slump.
Yeah.
Hey, Trackside Mike, how are you? Hello again, dear. I did see you.
But Daryl, you got an awesome layout.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I just, I think we all go through that where you go through a stage where you just, you work heavily on your layout. And my problem is, yeah, I got a channel. I got a channel for model railroaders and everything else. I just cannot put a camera to what I'm doing because it breaks my concentration on what I'm trying to accomplish. So I'm just trying to get back into it, and it's been tough for me. And it's tough for me because I'm super busy. I'm a busy guy. I just, I have a wife, I have kids. Well, I have grown kids. Um, and you think your kids when they're young they're a pain. Oh, when they're older they're worse. So I have a business to run. I have a wife, and you know, and that's it. But anyways, let me put me back so everybody can see my beautiful face.
Hmm.
So yeah, there you go. I said it. I'm just being lazy.
Well, we all go through that period, and I don't know. And then there's certain things in life actually knocks the motivation out as
Yeah, it
well.
does.
And when you're going through, particularly you get in times in life when feels like they're all falling apart, and you're on your own. Or particularly if you're on your own, it's worse.
Yeah.
You don't.
No,
You just don't feel. You just don't feel like doing anything.
well, I'm not by myself. I mean, I've got friends that in the community who are
Yeah,
coaching.
yeah,
They're telling me, Daryl, you got to get back in this. Daryl, you got to put up videos. Daryl, you got to do this. Daryl, I like when you said, "Hello, my name is Daryl, and I play with trains." I just, I mean, I think I'm going to get back into it soon. So I hope so. I mean,
Well, I told you, but there's a flight leaving tonight at 10:30 out of LAX, out of Tom Bradley, and it's coming
yeah,
over here non-stop.
yeah,
If you miss that one, you got another one, Fiji, so you can pop over to Fiji on the way through. Yeah, that one leaves at
Yeah,
11:30.
you look to be in desperate
Dude,
need of vacation.
Tammy says I need another makeup. Another makeup. Oh, hey, you never know. Yeah, you
Well,
know what? That's gonna stick forever. And you know what? I did it, and I did it knowing that, and I just, it was a fun show. It was. It was a fun show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
well, you look so stressed that you need to go get a vacation. I swear to God.
Well, yeah, I do need one of those. But when you're running your own show, vacation is not something it's not something that you can just haul off and do.
It's a hard thing to do. I mean, you really
It
got to
is.
plan to have the vacation. But I mean,
Yeah.
really serious. G'day, Postmodern. How are you? But the thing is, I'll tell you now,
Thank you, Postmodern.
as someone that had his own business, you need to find at least 2 weeks in a year where you need to take a break from everything, even if it's split up in two, where you just go on a vacation and reset your brain. Otherwise, you'll burn yourself out to a point where you're not even good for yourself. I tell you, when I was working for myself, and a lot of my work was long haul stuff, I found a period when it was quiet, and I told my customers, "Look, I'm going away for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and I won't be available." When I had my work with guys working for me, well, I had them do whatever they had to do, and I'll sort them out when I come back. I had a good crew. But I got to a point where I was that burnt out, I didn't know whether I was Arthur, Martha, or whatever. It was really, really bad.
Oh,
And once
cool
I
hat,
started
Arty.
taking breaks, once I started taking my breaks, I was a lot better. I was functioning. I was able to make this shit. Bloody hell, the teeth are coming. I was able to make decisions a lot better after I had my break. You know, and I wasn't a grumpy, but I wasn't really a
You can say the word because
I wasn't a grumpy bastard basically.
that's
'Cause
better.
you do, yeah.
Now,
'Cause you
life is good. I mean, life hasn't been any better. I mean, I cannot complain. Life has been really good. I'm good. You know, everybody's real good. I just kind of for the last 3, 4 weeks. I mean, you would not know it by looking at the cameras what this place looks like. It's a disaster. So, and
That's what well one of
Earl,
the reasons I got my camera laptop in like
D-
in the dining
D-
room every night. My training room. The
okay.
training room is a
D-
mess.
Daryl, give me about 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll show you what disaster looks like.
Oh, I can show you what disaster looks like. Trust me, I've done it before. Look, I'm not ashamed of my game. Look, I mean, I've had people, I've had people question, Daryl, do you even build your own layout? Yeah, no, I do. Everything that's in here is touched by me and done by me, and just the mess shows it. It's just one of those things. I just got in a slump. That's all there is to it. It hasn't gotten to the point where I'm ready to take it all down because that's what a lot of guys do. I've done it. I'm like, okay, I'm tired of my layout. And yeah, I make up an excuse. Okay, well, that switch isn't working right. So I'm just going to tear my whole layout down.
What the heck?
And I know some of us been there. I've been there. It's not that I'm at the point where I want to take my layout down. It's not even close to that. It's just that I'm just not into model railroading right now. Just not my thing right now. It's just not. So I've been practicing a lot on my Second Amendment. So that's what I've been doing. I've been taking out and doing that.
Most of it. But I'm gonna say this one here though. And this is going to be a serious note. Tammy, really appreciate it. Very thankful for it. I tell you what, you are the one that picks up. I know, particularly with me and many others will probably agree and whatnot. Thank you so much for your kindness and generosity in lifting everybody out. You're sending out stuff to everybody. You're sending out gift cards. I mean, you sent me some stuff too, and I'll tell you what, it's more than greatly appreciated, and it really keeps your.
Arty, you want to put a link back in for Randall? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Not bugger him. But Tammy, it's really appreciated what you do. G'day, Nancy. You really pick up our spirits.
Can someone remind me of Second Amendment, please?
Second Amendment is when you can go walking nude down the beach. That's what it is. You're right to walk nude on the beach and not get arrested. But yeah, Tammy, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I believe everybody else here is with me on it. We all thank you for your kindness and generosity.
This Mom and Son Train Rail fans that we're talking about?
Yes.
Miss Tammy and Mr. Ray,
Second
you guys
Amendment
are awesome. Ray,
came after this.
I have a sibling with autism as well, so you are amazing. Don't let anyone tell you anything otherwise. You are awesome.
I'll tell you what, Tammy, if you was an Aussie here, or even if you were an Aussie over there, I would put you in for the award that we have every year, and that is the Aussie of the Year.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. That's nearly as good as being knighted, but we will even put you in for that too. But
Hey,
but
Nancy, well, I see you, Nancy.
yeah, we see. Yeah. G'day, Kyle. So that's how grateful everybody is of you here, and the thought that you
Hey,
the thought
Grandpa
that
Ralph.
there was that's funny only about the ladies on the beach. Who does well, Australia, we could do that here. We're not get arrested. The
Oh,
second
geez.
you guys need a Second Amendment over in the United States to be able to do that.
Second Amendment is for the right to bear arms.
G'day, JD. Oh, is that what it is? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Second Amendment lets you protect all the other amendments.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, in all seriousness, thank you.
Absolutely. Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tammy's an amazing woman. I mean, like I said, my wife sat down and she watched. She was kind of interested, and she sat down and she goes, "Wow, what an amazing lady." She goes, "Is that the?" She goes, "Is that your girlfriend?" And I said, "Yeah, well, yeah,
Wow.
you could call her my girlfriend, I guess.
That's
Is
your other
that the lady that sends you all that stuff?" And I go, "Yes." Oh, so she's the one. She's a sweet lady. I see you watch your I see you watch your stuff all the time on the big TV. So I go, well, yeah, because I want to get the full experience.
You know what?
Holy
When I was talking about that, I know, like, Tammy
oh,
reminds me so much of my of Brenda, my beloved stepsister in South Carolina. She reminds me so much. But there's so many people like within that area that are so giving and kindness, opening up their hearts, opening up their doors to people. Particularly when people are down, they know how to lift their spirits up. And that's one thing I love. That's one thing that made me fall in love with that area, like within where Tammy is and where I go to. That's what made me fall in love with that place. A lot of other parts of America, no offense to the ones in here, but I think some of you guys in the US will agree with some of the places in the US is a piece of crap. The way people carry on, treat one another.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to answer a question to
In the
Postmodern,
Cleveland.
because Postmodern says, is it a job or is it, honestly, it almost, believe it or not, my channel almost felt like a job, and I think that's part of it because I didn't expect my channel to blow up like it did, and I felt like I had to put out content. But I'm beyond that now because it stressed me out so much. I'm really it's really not my interest. I'm not making it my job anymore because I have a full-time job. And this is supposed to be for fun. I just need to get back into the fun part of it. So you're right. You could make this a job, and I kind of did make it a job, and that was my mistake. That was on me. I made a mistake. I made this kind of like almost like a full-time job. And it took my wife
that's very true.
to pull me aside and say, "Hey, Daryl, I see, honey, I see what it's doing to you." She goes, "Just listen to your wife. You need to stop. Just tone it down a bit." And so I did. So but I'm still at where I'm at right now, so I'll get back into it. I will.
Well, everybody needs a break, Daryl. I mean,
But you see, Dave's actually just mentioned what I was saying. A lot of cities in America have gone.
oh, don't have a runaway.
Hey,
And I've
Randall.
seen that. I haven't been there since 2019.
Later, Wigrag.
But
Yeah,
I've actually seen. I've been watching the last few days about the Americans that have been living like here in Australia and abroad, and how they are seeing America now looking from outside, looking in, and how it's actually going downhill. And parts like where um, Tammy and down in the south and more in the rural areas, like in the country areas, you're still okay. But when you get closer to the big cities, it's all going downhill, and it's sad. It is really, really sad to see it going the way it is. Yeah, it has, Dave. It has changed the world, but I tell you what, for us here, the showstopper actually showed the people that you. It actually showed the true color of people, and it was surprising. Like in particular in Australia, it got to show who the self-centered ones are and who are the greedy ones and the ones that don't give a crap about anybody else, regardless of whether you believe it or not. But we're really seeing like our community here, we just got on with it. We just did what was requested and we got out of it pretty good. You go down south, basically south of the border into Victoria, into Melbourne, it was a different caliber fish. But I've seen as I keep saying, my first port of call is 90% of the time when I go to the United States is Los Angeles. And the homelessness that I've been seeing is getting worse and worse every landing. Right? Now, Daryl probably know, like you've got that rail system that goes basically from LAX into downtown. And when you're going on that rail trip into downtown, you just see these homeless camps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, it doesn't need to be that way. In New York, the amount of people on the streets that are desolate, they're homeless. Wintertime, they go underground. Basically, the underground railway system is their home. It's their shelter. And you can smell it. You know,
Well, I've got a rectangle I do not go in. It's the 405 freeway to the 105 freeway, back to the 405 freeway, and then north anything below the 210 freeway. There's that triangle in there. I do not go into. I do not go in with my company trucks. We get calls from there all the time. That's like LA area, Hollywood area, in that area. I don't go to those areas. Don't. They're that bad.
Yeah, yeah. Like one particular area, I can't think of the name on the top of the head, but it used to be the interchange.
Night, Tammy.
Good night, Tammy. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
darling.
good night, Tony.
Night, Tammy. Night, Ray.
We'll be together soon. How would I describe it? It's in that area. Remember in was it Need for Speed or what? Yeah, where they launched a bus over the freeway in the missing gap on the freeway with my girlfriend Sandra Bullock driving the bus. There's a little suburb underneath it. Anyway, when I first went in to use the rail system there, it was a nice little community, and there was an interchange between the two train systems. And that area used to be nice. Now, speed, thanks CSX production. And that's where I end up getting the train to go into LA, sorry. And just seeing how it's getting worse and worse. I used to be in the Bronx in the 78, 79. It was like the third world country after it's. Yeah, well, I have not been in Hollywood. I haven't been down to Hollywood for a while, like up towards Coringa Drive and whatnot, because I did have investments there. When I was in there in 97, 98, it was borderline there, but from I'd say from 98 onwards, it just gone downhill.
Hey, Randall, what you doing?
Well, I figured I'd fire up that GP50 and let it break in some more. That's the one. If you watched Chris at Go Be or Go Home stream about 3 weeks ago now, I believe. That's the engine I took apart on his stream, and the axles fell apart on it. So I had to buy all new axles for it.
Yeah, but you're just too rough with the gear. That's all it is.
Oh, and Randall?
Yeah.
I support the Kansas City Chiefs hoodie. I'm a Chiefs fan.
Yeah. There you go. 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years. We're living good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't afford me, Mystic. They just could not afford my price. You know, they wanted to put me on the screen, but they just could not afford me. Okay. But look at the 101 up. Look, where I spent most of the time was just up, just down from the Paramount Studios, and it wasn't too bad. But last time I was there, probably about 10 years ago, it was bad. It was bad. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a different subject, and it's not subject done be here. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, Daryl and his girls on the horseback. I see they don't. I see they don't ride their horses bareback like they do here in Australia. They've got to have the saddles.
That's a nice scene.
It's a really, really, really good scene. That
It's just something completely different. And of course, the cross sets up my boarded train station.
What's the leader on the train, on your train there, Daryl?
That's a
The
CN.
Yeah, what's
That's
CN
100.
number?
Yeah, that's a 100th anniversary, and then you got the BNSF, CNN, and then you got the J. You got a CN Heritage unit from the J. It's a beautiful locomotive. It's gorgeous.
Is the lead loco a special interest since it has the dual flags?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
On the way to Kansas, I got to see a actual Santa Fe. Like this was still in the Santa Fe paint. A Santa Fe SD 40-2 doing local service.
Yeah, there's still a few of those floating around.
I mean, it was BNSF patched, but I still ended up being able to make the report on heritage units. And
There.
Randall.
Yeah.
CSX Productions. Hey, Randall, question for you. Do you have any BNSF heritage units like North Fork Southern does?
If you're talking about the 25th anniversary engines, yeah, I've got 3 of them.
Oh, Randall, you got one more than I do.
I've got 6078, 6111, and 5872.
I got one.
We had 6022 out here a couple days ago, shoving as a DP.
Yeah. Yeah, there was 6075 was on the third sub last night. Because I was going to Springfield, met that train. It was one of the rear DPs on it.
I love
Is it
my
coming
Canadian
up here to Colorado?
Maple syrup. No doubt.
Do what?
Is it coming up here to? Is 6075 coming up to Colorado?
When I saw it, it was heading south towards Memphis.
Crap.
I met it at a town called Diggins, Missouri.
Good night, Dave.
Or not Diggins. I'm sorry. Crap, what's the name of that? Kabul. That's where I met it.
Kabul.
Yeah, Kabul, Missouri.
Yep.
Good night, Dave. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Yeah, there's a really steep grade, and you can physically see the tracks going downhill at the north end of town there, and it'll duck under the highway and go into town there, and it's like I said, it's a pretty stiff grade.
I'll have to go check it out on your channel.
Yeah, well, I don't have any videos from that part of the town. I've got the closest I can get you there will be Oldham, Missouri. I do have a video of a stack train I caught from there while I was waiting to pick up a crew.
Ooh, stack
And
train.
Olden is basically just right north of West Plains, Missouri. So you basically
Okay,
go,
wow.
you'll basically go north out of West Plains, and you really got to be paying attention or you'll miss it. Basically, the best way I can tell you is look for a bunch of old heavy equipment sitting beside the road. There's a road that turns off to the right, off the main highway.
Sounds good.
Right there but there's like an old bulldozer there, and I think there's a couple other pieces there, but right after you pass those, there's a little road turns off to the right, and then it tees right after you turn. You'll take that right. You'll take the right, and it'll curve around, take you to the south end at Olden.
Cool.
Yeah.
What you doing there, Mr. John?
Crashing trains.
I haven't seen the pictures of the Chesney one yet. I have seen the pictures of the B&O one. That one turned out pretty good.
Oh, wow.
That's my only heritage unit. That's who my grandpa and my dad work for.
New York Central. That looks sharp.
I have not seen that engine yet, John.
That's
in real life.
Walzers. I bought it for $80. That's pretty much the most I've spent per engine besides my BLIs.
Beautiful.
That's one that I have seen on a regular basis down in Spartanburg, Greenville area, along with Lehigh Valley Heritage Unit and the Southern. And I just before the show, I actually see that the Norfolk Southern Railroad engine has been restored and she's back in service again. So she'll be still running out and about. So I'd really like to get my hands on that.
The only NS heritage units I've seen on the Thayer sub have been the Illinois terminal engine, the Mongolian engine, if I'm pronouncing the name right, and the interstate locomotive. In fact, the irony is with the interstate engine, I was called to pick up the crew off that train at Bono, Arkansas. So I got to see it pretty much up close.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Slater, so you got my missing engine. I cannot find it. Now I know why. You've got it.
So, hang on just a second. Since he's got that engine, I got something I want to show him.
This is my special interest that I actually, I have the model and I've seen the real one.
I have not seen the real one yet. But then again, I'm spending 80% of my time on the East Coast, so I have not seen it through there yet.
Oh, little bit. I can remove the top and check it out.
I like
Look
that.
how-
That's what I like about them. Yeah.
I like it.
Who made that one?
Athearn Genesis. This is a Genesis.
Yeah.
I got him for a Christmas present.
I'm going down to Columbus to go train shopping this weekend.
Enjoy.
The Forcer. I will. I just hate going down there with my whole check. But sometimes you got to do it.
What you got to make us cry there, Thomas, in Split Rock, with all the units that you've operated.
Yeah, I would imagine Thomas has operated quite a few of those.
Wait, Split Rock, are you a retired engineer or conductor?
He's an engineer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
For BNSF?
Oh,
Oh, that was a bad word there, son.
Man, that's a stab in the heart. That is. Oh, and that's like a stab in the
Thomas is a UP engineer, or I get a former UP engineer. Well, I guess he still works for UP, don't he?
I believe so.
I can't remember if he said if he was retired or not.
How am I supposed to know?
Did I just hear Anthony Dodge in the background?
But anyway, Slater, just to kind of show you, since you showed yours, and by the way, Wesley Mates, one of my buddies at YouTube, has that same engine that you got.
I love this engine. This thing's fun to run.
But right there is mine.
Oh, come on! I've been wanting to get that unit and see that unit for a long time.
Crane World had a big sale on these, and honestly, I should have waited because Lombard had an even better deal on them.
That thing that's gorgeous.
But yeah,
so
this thing turned a lot of heads last December.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, this is a good engine. It sounds great, runs great.
One of my friends in Hutch, because him and I lived in the same town, he actually caught that unit plus a Southern Pacific patched unit, 6318. Those two were leading a stack the southbound ID4LB.
But when they had this thing, I forgot what they had it for. It was way under $200 with sound and everything.
Yeah,
I was like, you know what? That's too good to pass up. So,
well, I got the demonstrator version, which is going to be used for my test train.
Now, just to be fair, this isn't the Genesis 2.0 version. This is the one just prior to the 2.0 series. But
yeah, mine's the same.
Yeah,
mine's a
and also, Slayer, if you go to my if you watch the live stream I did from the October display, you'll see this engine and Wesley's engine working together on the same train. Since he's got the Spirit UP, the 1943.
Oh,
we paired it up with his and ran them both.
Yeah, I'm subbing to you after that one.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great looking engine.
Oh, wow.
I'm subbing to your channel since you told me that. You know what? After this, since you're also a Chiefs fan, I'm gonna sub. You're a Chiefs fan, and you got the 1111 because that, other than 1943 and 1989, with 1995, like those three, 1111 is like the first one on the top of my list that I really like, and I really want to catch.
And I hope this don't offend Thomas, but I normally don't run UP stuff. I very, very rarely buy anything that's Union Pacific. But like I said, when this thing popped up and they had a big sale, I was like, you know what? That was just too good to pass up.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it's funny because I know, like in the club that I was in here locally, there's a few of them in there. A few of us that model American, but I seem to be the only one that models the East Coast, like the CSX and Northeast Corridor and whatnot. And there seems to be a rivalry between me and the guys, and majority of them do Union Pacific or Southern Pacific.
Now, I don't know if Slayer's seen this engine or not, but this is one of the U36Cs I picked up. This is one of the Santa Fe Kodachrome engines.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking about that during when I was in Sneakies.
I think it was already Saturday night stream when I first showed it. But,
because I got a I got a SD 45-2 that's in the Kodachrome.
And this thing is DCC equipped, so
Oh, sweet.
it's not sound equipped. It's just got a motor decoder in it. But boy, that thing runs like a sewing machine.
Nice and quiet.
Oh well, they got Cato drives in them. These older Atlas U boats here, they're actually powered by Cato motors, and it think of it basically as a heavier Cato engine. That's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
Cottos are pretty heavy.
but the traction is good. They really got very good traction in them.
It's Split Rock.
Now I don't know how hard this the UP 1111 will pull. We haven't tested that engine yet. We tested the CP Rail SD70 ACU and a scale train DT44 AC. Both of those engines topped out 64 cars on the drawbar
Holy cow!
on the club layout. That was on the club layout. And for those wondering, that's not the standard, testing with 40-foot box cars from end to end. That was all different cars. That was auto wrecks, hopper cars, box cars, 5-unit well cars. We had the works with that thing.
I did that with a pair of CSX Cato engines. What was it? The Dash 9s that Cato made. And I tell you what, just one pulled about 50, 60 odd carriages up the grades. And the traction was just unbelievable. And that did a lot of stuff that I had in stock. Yeah, I don't know where they ended up because I just cannot locate them anymore.
The funniest thing that ever happened, this happened way back in 2019, the first year of the club had the HO layout, or at least the first HO layout. The current one that you see in most of the live streams is a essentially new layout from the ground up. But we took this was when I first got the BNSF ET44C4, the 3911. We stuck, I think we got over 50 cars on that train, and the lead car was an older Athearn ready to roll hopper car, still equipped with its McHenry couplers. And we put the load to that thing, and that engine ripped the McHenry coupler off the hopper car. I mean, just shelled it.
We have a manufacturer here, Ossetia Models. They used to have McHenry couplers too, but what they're doing now with all the new stuff is they're actually putting proper KDs in their stuff, because a lot of modelers here in Australia have been complaining that you got a brilliant model, but now we got to change out the couplings to the proper KD ones, because those McHenry ones just kept on failing. And you're spending $300 for an engine, you want something good. 9mm 45. What is your? Yeah. Okay. That's a different question. That's a different subject there. Split Rock. That's not train related.
Yeah, I'm reading Split Rock's comment now. Yeah, there's probably a lot of BNSF crews that would agree with trains like that. Split Rock.
Yeah. But it would have been nice. It would be nice. I mean, for an extra $1 or two, I mean, to put the KDs in. I mean, nothing worse than when you're getting a brand new engine, you're spending a fortune on them, and they got cheap. So the way I look at it, they're using cheap, inferior couplings on them. I mean, you're going in, and then got to start messing around, and if you've got bad hands like some of us do, you end up damaging the detail on the engines and whatnot.
I was looking at Split Rock's comment. There was a funny picture. This was years ago in Trains magazine. Split Rock may have even seen this. Somebody had took a UP hopper car, a real one, and graffitied underneath of it. It had the Union Pacific "We will deliver" slogan on it. Okay, whoever did this, what they did was cross out or right under where it said "We will deliver," and I guess this was when UP was slashing everybody's pay or something like that. But they graffitied on it to the point where the car now said "Union Pacific, we will deliver pay cuts." So,
Oh,
yeah,
darn.
that was in Trains magazine many years ago, and I wish I could remember what issue that was in, but I can't remember. I've even got the magazine somewhere if I can find it. But
Well, with company TNT, they had a slogan there before it got taken over by FedEx. TNT, we deliver. We end up blanking out to deliver. What is it? I think it's we do it. We can do it. And we just say, yeah, we can stuff it. Well, some would put, yeah, we can stuff it, but yeah, we went a little bit more crude, and you can imagine like here's these containers going on the rail system around the countryside, and the only time they really get to see the artwork is when they go and do the pickups and deliveries and whatnot between the rail siding and the customer. Because yeah, that would do the postal system at the end.
see, Corey, I think if I remember the article right, that was actually somebody had thought that was done by a disgruntled employee that was either fired from Union Pacific or something like that. I don't think they was able to fully prove it, but they was kind of thinking that way.
Yeah. We did have, I think I showed it once before, we did actually have one lot of carriages. Like we have the same issue here with graffiti on freight cars and whatnot. But it's funny, like when there's some good artwork on the side of the freight car, it's amazing how a lot of the other graffiti artists and taggers do not touch it. We have a train that comes from at the back of out in the middle of this state of mine here, and it brings flour down to the ethanol plant nearby. And what they've done with these wheat wagons or flour wagon hoppers is they spray painted these murals of the farmers and the people that worked in the outback for the grain and the flour mills and whatnot. And it was actually quite amazing. Not a single person that does tagging graffiti work on the carriages touched them. They just left them as it is. So what they started to do with a lot of the carriages here now is they've actually put some sort of artwork on it, and they've been left alone. But then again, they also have been attacking a lot of, they've been gathering a lot of these taggers around the real bad ones. They've been actually gathering up, locking them up.
I just remembered something. So, one of my sisters, not the one that's here with in the other room right now, but I have another one. So my 1943 was leading a 29 car manifest. There was a Santa Fe SD45 second out, UP SD50 third out, and a Norfolk Southern SD40-2 fourth out. So 4 engines. I was trying to get a bit of motive power. My sister basically ended up shoving my train backwards after she made it collide with something. And of course, she decided that it'd be funny to continue to shove the rear of the train in the direction that the locos derailed. Because 1943 was on its side, Santa Fe 5596 was sideways, but it was fuel tank on the track, so it was still upright. The SD50 and the SD40-2, both, because it wasn't elephant style. It was like head. It was like that way. Both front trucks were like right where the cabs are. Both of those were on the ground, but still somehow the rear trucks were on. And then I'd say a good 18 out of the 29 rail cars were derailed. I had to replace 2 of them. Yeah, that was
Yeah, that's not good.
Ooh.
That
So
was a
was that your ex sister?
I'm the oldest, so I have to deal with it. I mean, heck, I have to probably get a new end scale after she decided to put a lot of her hair in it.
Dadgum.
I'm not going to ask how she did that, but
Yeah, one of my
but you probably been playing too many of the Norfolk Southern videos lately, where they have the train wreck. So she's been just copying what Norfolk Southern's been doing.
pretty much. It's like, good Lord, I'm not running Norfolk Southern. I am not Norfolk Southern. I am mainly UP and BNSF. Because with 1943, if you could put me up big real quick, Arty. I got something like a bit more. I mean, 1943 still has a bit of damage. So they're
I
used.
see it, yeah.
Yeah, you see how the headlights are kind of a bit little
Yeah.
loose. The headlights are so loose, and one of them's actually knocked back at an angle a little bit.
Yeah, I had that problem with one of mine. But that's the way it was. My 1943 that I have, the issue that I had from that, and this is where I started going off Athern. I bought mine brand spanking new, and I did notice there was a problem with one of the with the ditch lights itself, where they'll work for a little bit, but then all of a sudden one will go out and only one will work, or they'll go out completely. And I believe it's a problem with the circuit board on it. Now, being under warranty, I got in contact with Athern, and I tell you what, Athern did not get in contact with me whatsoever in regards to warranty on that engine. And I'm like, well, you want me to spend all this money, and when the person's trying to contact you for warranty repairs, you're nowhere to be seen. I mean, everybody keeps on bagging. Everybody keeps on bagging BLI and whatnot. I have not had any issues with BLI. I contact them and go put it in the box and send it over. MTH, okay, MTH when it was around, I waited a long time for it only because I had a few other issues going on, but I eventually got that back. I got in contact with them, and within 24 to 48 hours, of course, with the time zones, they got back in contact with me. Athern never did. I'm like, well, as nice as your Lyco's engines are, and your rolling stock, but particularly your engines, if you're not going to give me that support, I'm not going to buy your stuff.
Yeah, and
I'll tell you what, Arty, one of my Frisco SD38-2s had the motherboard go bad on it. At least that's kind of what we was thinking. I called Scale Trains up back because what it was doing, it was going around the layout like you see the Kodachrome engine running now, and the lights were flashing on and off on it. Yeah. And when I picked it up, it was warm just after just a few minutes of running. And it would go dead the minute you pick it up off the track. Well, it's not technically supposed to do that because the Scale Trains engines, the rivet counters with the sound, have dual supercapacitors in them. So I knew something was off right then. So I called Scale Trains and I talked with him about that, and he kind of said, "Yeah, that kind of sounds like the motherboard's kind of going bad on it." And I said, "Well, what should I do?" I said, "Just send it back to you guys." They said, "Yeah, we'll print you off a label, or we'll email you a label that you can print off, and you can send it back to us, and we'll fix it." So I went to the post office, boxed it up, went to the post office, got the label printed out. Sent to him, just got the engine back the other day. I haven't unboxed it to see if it's all right or not, but
Well, so that's
I'm pretty sure it is. But
yeah, that's the same with my 244s.
Another-
I bought from my. They ended up having a fault in them. I don't know what it was. I've never gone back and asked them. I haven't had a chance. But the way they warranty was, well, okay, well that's messed up. Well, we got 2 more on the shelf. Here, we'll just swap them over for 2 brand new ones. Still in a wrapper, sealed wrapper. That's warranty repair for you. But when you look, you can basically add an extra 20-30% on the price of what's meant to be.
I just remembered that same sister. She picked up. I was running 1943 and my SD50 5036 with my dummy engine as distributed power.
Yeah.
My sister put our cat on the tracks.
oh wow, there's a National Lampoon's moment right there.
Yeah.
You know
My
what?
cat was
That
curious.
sister.
She didn't see the train coming. I tried to stop my train, but when I realized it, it was a little bit too late. And my thanks to my sister, my train ran into my cat.
Dang, Slater, you need to hide that engine or something. She's got it in for that thing.
Meow.
So how's the cat? Is the cat all right?
Yeah, the cat's all right, but she hates my sister for it now.
Oh, wow. Of course. Yeah, exactly.
And the impact was so bad that it actually bent, like it knocked one of the ditch lights out on the unit. So now when I took it in to get it fixed, the guy that I took it to, he said that he's never seen a loco with one of the lights nearly bent all the way down.
I remember when my brother messed around with my trains and he destroyed some. I tell you what, he paid for it. He paid for it really good.
And
yeah,
my mom
sure
thought it was funny.
He never touched my train stuff again after.
Okay. Oh, okay. Thanks for clearing that up, then, Split Rock. Because yeah, if you're wondering what Split Rock was saying, he's saying no UP employee tag that pay cut car. Our guys would put something a lot worse on a car.
When we worked at the steelworks here, just a second. We had 2 guys that were working on one of the stacks, and one of the worst places to do it. They decide they're going to do some tagging on the stacks that they're working on, so everybody could see, and they put some real profound markings on it and attacking the company on these 2 stacks. Let's put it this way: cameras caught him doing it, and they were the only ones that would had access to that height. They're no longer working in the steelworks. They've been banned out of there for life now. And they lost their job.
They better.
Yeah, they have. They tried nothing. Well, no jobs guaranteed.
Also,
okay, Slater, now what you were going to say something else?
Also, with part of the damage, it actually completely took out the front handrails, took out about half the side handrails, and since one of the locos actually, the SD50 actually ended up nearly going through 1943. There was a little handrail damage, but the back end was fine. On the front, it was handrail, one of the lights, and actually, notice that the plow, there's no plow.
Yeah, I saw that. That was the first thing I noticed, Slayer, was the plow was gone off that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and was reading back through. Yeah, she is not allowed to touch any of the trains because one of them, part of the cab is actually cracked.
Well,
yeah, part of the cab's cracked, and since it's a Kato SD45, it's a pretty easy fix. Once I like get all the
Oh boy, we're about to have a problem.
Stuff rounded up, but I know I can get it fixed.
Yeah, PK, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, as I said, my brother, I made sure he paid for it. He had a sore backside for a while, and then
now we got crash.
And every time I used to get
And I can't
home,
stop my train.
every time I used to get home on the weekend with the truck, I made him wash it. And being a cold truck, or depending what I was doing, I tell you what, for him, it was a mongrel of a job.
Oh.
Yeah, and
go on, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Look at the mess.
We just had a big crash, Arty.
Well, show it, mate. We're gonna do a drug and alcohol test on you now, bud.
Yeah, I just got fired.
No. No, we're going to work here on your new Australian system. The more stuff ups you make, the quicker you go up the ladder. You don't get fired with the Australian government. Yeah, you just get promoted.
How bad's the crash?
Well, I don't know if you can see it or not, but right there, all the cars that are laying on their side on the air loop, and they've run into the side of this other train. So,
hey,
so yeah, we're red flagged right now. So
try a 60 car contest when they go sideways.
Oh, we've done that too, Daryl, on the club layout.
Oh, I'm telling you, man, it's a mess in the tunnel, off the table. It's a mess, man.
I actually knocked my camera off, and when it did, everything went down the toilet. So
I still have the video of the collision that my 1943 was in when it got the damage. Now, my sister did also put an HO scale truck on the tracks, so that also lifted it up. So that's part of what lifted it up onto its side and caused the derailment. My sister was trying to pull an East Palestine, Ohio derailment. I was like, oh no, here we go again. Because then just 2 short weeks later, she wasn't there. She was there. I was actually trusting her to do a bit of switching with a couple auto racks in a switch yard that I made. Yeah, she purposely derailed one of the units right into the path of my oncoming train. It was a homemade stack train. That I have the pictures for. There was 5036 was leading, 1943 was trailing, and my war bonnet was third. But yeah, it was just one hell of a mess. Because
tell us, how old is your sister?
The one that did this, she's 14, and she she thinks trains are not cool.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, my other sister, hell, if I'm out watching trains by the tracks, she'll actually come up and join the fun with me and my friend. I mean, she loves watching the trains as much as I do, if not more.
Mm.
But I do have a couple pictures from both derailments that 1943 was in, and after Cab Crew tonight, I'm gonna go search for them. So they'll be on my community page sometime tonight if you guys want to take a look.
No, I've been lucky because the thing with me was I actually did for a lot of years. I looked after a lot of stuff that I had, and the less time I was starting to spend at home, I started finding all my old stuff slowly but surely getting destroyed by my younger brother. But mind you, we did have a 13-year difference between them, but
What the heck?
it took him a long time to realise that, I was looking after this stuff so I can pass it on to, say, for example, if I had kids, I can actually pass it on. That used to belong to me. This is what the toys I used to have with Dad, so I don't think there's much of it left. CSX production, I am going to work on a Christmas tree after the layout, the track is laid. Okay, now who's that? No, that will be.
That's not me. No, that is not me.
That's got to be your computer, Daryl.
Not mine.
Somebody's unplugging USB device.
Nope, not me.
I'm not touching nothing.
Not
That's
spring off
me.
that
I'm
cover.
working- I was fixing an engine. I was fixing an engine, and my mouse was getting.
Oh, that's what it could have been. Yeah. But yeah, I had a lot of. I had a lot of until the shit fight happened in the household. I had all my toys, right from my very first trucks and cars and whatnot.
Oh, cool. What's that, John?
It's an old man tool. I bought it for $5, and I found the parts because the wheels were in the cover was missing. And
Hey, Curly.
I found the parts and just got it running.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought from a distance that looked like the Prairie Line's GP7 low hood that I saw in Garden City.
It's a reading.
Yeah, I mean, it has kind of the same paint style.
Got the little brass bell on it. I just linked the old man to it.
You made summons. There we go.
Right.
Get off the computer. Get off the internet. It's time for you to come and get some dinner.
Damn, I can't control my train.
Hey, what do you want?
I put
What do you
that
want
engine
to
on there and it took off and started running.
What do you want to cook, Arty?
What do I want to cook?
What do you want to cook?
No, I just saw,
What do you want?
no, we just saw John's other half behind him. Summoning him to go and have some dinner.
No, she was making sure I took my medicine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I took off. I went and grabbed the pill.
Righto.
I think this layout's possessed, Arty.
The what?
I think this layout's possessed.
Why?
They just my trains just randomly go out of control on the DCC layout, and see, I don't know. I can't control the thing.
You turn. You know.
Right,
You know
guys,
what it is.
I got to call it a night. So
Yeah,
it's been fun, guys, and
I'm gonna call it.
yeah.
I'm gonna
See
call
you
it
guys.
quits
Have a good night, Slater. I was going to run 11
You too,
free
guys.
left, but apparently my layout doesn't want to cooperate. So
Yeah.
Randall, what kind of DCT system you have?
That's okay.
it's
right. Bye,
MRC
guys.
Project Express 2.
Well, it is what it is. I mean,
Can
You'll
you
get-
just power cycle the MRC and see if it's
Well, I mean, it's the starter system. I don't know.
anyway, guys, I am going to call it quits.
they're just like computers. If you have a problem, best thing to do is
Yeah.
start it and then see what happens.
Well, this laptop was playing up again, only because Microsoft saying, "Oh, you want to update to Windows 11?" No, I don't. No, I don't. No, no.
Maybe not.
And yeah,
Okay, looks like I got control back now.
for now.
For now.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right.
Well,
I am going to
Well-
call it a night, day, because I do want to get outside and do some work while the weather's good.
Really.
Thank you everybody in the panel and chat for coming up.
Good night, everybody.
And great
Yep. Have a good night, all.
around and tracking around and chatting about trains for a change. So, I should be on Saturday night US Eastern time. If all goes well, if we're still kicking and whatnot. Everybody here, thank you again, and everybody have fun, stay safe, and talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Later. Hit the thumbs up.